Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it, and it truly helps out the channel. So today we're going to be talking about something that is really on the top of people's minds. A lot of people right now are struggling mightily to get by, and people find it more and more difficult just to keep their head above water. So we're going to talk about the 4 ways that you can get ahead, especially in this economy, this terrible economy where we have inflation running rampant and everything is going through the roof. So let's get right into it. So the first way that you can get ahead is to stop eating out. Yes, stop eating out. I mean, it's killing your budget. You know that. You're wasting money and you're blowing any chances that you have of getting ahead. Now, get this. For the year, grocery prices rose 2.1%, according to the Consumer Price Index data that was released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Okay, so I'm not making this stuff up. It says, but menu prices were up 5.4%, driven largely by a 6.2% rise in limited service restaurants, which included fast food and fast casual restaurants. At full service restaurants, which are where servers come and take your orders at the table, prices were up 4.3% for the year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So you're talking about 4.5% at sit-down restaurants and 5.4% at casual or fast food dining spots over what grocery prices rose, which was 2.1% over the year. That's almost double. That's double the cost what it is to buy groceries and prepare food at home yourself. So it makes it increasingly difficult to get ahead when such large portions of your income is going to eating out. I mean, really, it's a no-brainer. Have you ever noticed, too, that the majority of the people who eat out typically are a younger generation of people who usually rent? And most of the time, that's just because they have a spender mentality versus an investor mentality. I mean, they really don't have that much experience with investing because spending is all they've ever known. So they really don't do much investing. They mostly know all about spending. And it is killing, I mean, literally killing their chances of getting ahead. Now, the second way that you can get ahead is to stop getting tattoos. Now, I know that sounds strange for that to even be mentioned on this list, but take notice of this. 32% of Americans have tattoos. 32%, including 22% who have more than one. So that's about 100 million people. That's a lot of people, guys. 100 million people in this country have tattoos. So there's a lot of people getting them. And so I know that this is a form of expression or remembrance for some people. And on this channel, we don't get into the health or moral aspects of tattoos and why people choose to get them health-wise or moral-wise. But we do talk about the implications of getting one as it relates to our finances. So I had a coworker. This is a short story. I had a coworker. He told me, he says I'm getting a tattoo sleeve, And he says, "Man, KG, I'm getting a tattoo sleeve. I can't wait. I can't wait to get it." And I said, "Well, how much how much that tattoo sleeve gonna cost you?" And he said, $1,000. He was all happy and excited about it. And I said, "Well, of course, he worked for that money, and it was his money to spend, so he could do whatever he wanted with his money. But it wasn't like a necessity, like paying his mortgage, loan, or his getting a car fixed or car repaired, something that that he was going to need and that was going to be helpful for him. It was just something that he wanted, something that he wanted to have, right? So it wasn't a necessity at all. But financially, I couldn't make sense of it, because I knew that it just meant that thousands of dollars was going down the drain. And why do I say thousands of dollars down the drain? Well, because that same $1,000 investment that he was going to use, or that same $1,000 he was going to use for his sleeve, that same $1,000 investment in Tesla back in 2020 would have been worth $29,250 today. Okay? So that's a 28% increase on that initial investment of $1,000, guys. Most people would find almost $30,000 way more useful and helpful than a tattoo that's not going to leave you with any true financial growth or equity. So don't fall into the trap of wasteful spending, because you're going to end up losing more than what you think. Now, the third way in which you can get ahead is to stop traveling. Yeah, that's right. I said stop traveling. Now, cruise prices for 2024 are, get this, up approximately between 17.5% and 22.5% from 2019 until now. And pricing for 2025 cruises are even higher, around about 50%. 50% from what it used to be in 2019. So one thing is for sure, with the prices trending the way they are, the trending for a vacation, the prices are going up higher. They're going up, not down. Everything is going through the roof right now. And we have inflation to thank for that. And so take a minute, think about it. Where's all that money going? Where's that money going? You have to be cognizant about that and to really think about that. I mean, you cannot get ahead when money is going from your pocket into someone else's pocket. It just will not work. You will not get ahead. You will lose the benefit and you will benefit them. They will gain the benefit that you have. You cannot get ahead if money is coming out of your pocket and going into someone else's pocket. It's just as simple as that. And guys, really, it's common sense. Now, the fourth thing that a person can do to get ahead, and this is very important, stop buying new cars. That's right. Buying new cars is going to keep you behind the 8 ball. This is something that we've talked about before. According to an October report by MarketWatch, Americans needed an annual income of at least $100,000 to afford a new car. $100,000. The average car payment currently is $750 per month, with some people paying payments as high as $1,000 per month. Guys, I didn't stutter. Guys, I didn't stutter. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. With car loans and interest rates that are 10% or higher, forget about it. You're just going to make the banks a lot richer. Making car payments on overpriced cars is not going to help you get ahead. There's no way you can get ahead. When you're paying that much interest to the banks and you're paying that high of a price for a car, even if you are making $100,000, you're not going to get ahead. You're really just putting money in someone else's pocket. You're putting money in everybody else's pocket, but you're wrong. So you got to stop buying cars. And we're trying to make sure that people on this channel, we talk about people, having financial independence and making good, wise decisions with their money. So we want people to get ahead. That's what we're trying to do, guys. That's what the focus of this channel is all about. So some of these are things that you don't have to necessarily not do forever. It's not saying that, you can't have to stop traveling forever or you got to stop eating out forever. That's not what that's about. That's not what we're talking about. But it's about balance, really. And as long as inflation is out of control and you have consumer debt, then you need to reduce your spending and focus on paying off that debt. That's what's most important. Otherwise, you just end up spending more and more on the same items than when inflation was healthier and in check. And all it's going to do is put you further behind and deeper in the rabbit hole. Why spend more money on the same items that you were spending for way less, sometimes 50% less, back in 2 years ago, and you're spending way more for it now on a regular basis in just 3 or 4 years later, right? The same items, right? It doesn't make sense. If you're going to keep on spending like that and you have not gotten any increases at your job, your salary hasn't went up, or your salary has went up incrementally, think about the numbers that I talked about. I mean, we're talking about, 7%, 17% or 22% higher for traveling, needing $100,000 to buy a car, right? Food prices, eating out food prices costing 5% to 6% more than what they used to cost. But yet the cost of living, let's say your increase in your paycheck, your income is 1%, 1.5%, even 2%. How are you gonna keep pace with all this other stuff that's up 5%, 17%, 20%, 50%, right? It's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So we have to use our mind and we have to think, right? What's most important? Not spending so much to where we're falling behind and the people that we're giving our money to is getting rich. So you guys know that I preach on this channel that we should stay out of consumer debt, that you need to set a budget for your monthly spending, that you need to be cognizant and aware and trying to invest your money, and you need to save some of your money for rough and rainy days. Because guys, those rainy days are coming. There's no way to get around it. The rainy days will be here. They are coming. So choose to make wise financial decisions with your money. That way you're not out here struggling with the 90% of Americans who are. Because remember, we're on a better come up.